huge new First Amendment project arrives this Thanksgiving. And we're asking everybody, LouRockwell.com, link to it. Everybody's linking to it. Please get this out. If you are sick and tired of all of this, if you are sick and tired of it, go. We already did it last week. We're going to go again. We're going to film their lordships and let them come. It's the law. We're going to hand them their own site where Congress ordered them under pressure to stop saying it's illegal because they kept arresting people filming. They'll always trump something else up. And we're going to go out. I'm going to go out. People are, you do what you want. If you feel as I feel and you believe as I believe this is wrong, and you chalk the word freedom because they're going to charge you if they catch you, which you want them to catch you. And this is what I'm going to do personally. This is what I'm doing. If you believe as I believe, that's what a lot of people are going to do. They're going to charge you with vandalism, and then you just point out it's your free speech, and that's not applicable. And then you sue them all personally after you've beaten that. You've got to punish them and all the minions in America that they're saying you can't do this. They're now saying holding up a sign politically blocks and distracts drivers. They're arresting people. They don't want you exercising your First Amendment because we're occupied by foreign banks. And all the people that serve this are collaborators with the enemy. You need to find your humanity and find your anger and say no to this. I can't believe I have to talk about how you have a right to write with chalk or have a sign on the side of the road in this country. I don't care if a bunch of low-grade morons have been told you don't. They're taught George Washington's bad, for heaven's sakes. So the article is New National Anti-TSA Campaign Opt-Out and Film Week. Huge new First Amendment project arrives this Thanksgiving. And I'm saying every day is a First Amendment day. Look, you are the solution. All of us doing little things, telling people about our local AM and FM affiliates, supporting good mayors, good police chiefs, good police officers, good sheriff's deputies when they do the right thing. I see news all the time where the feds are pressuring local police to charge the man who shot the 2 burglars in his house. And the cops are like, we're not going to do that. And the grand juries are, we're not going to. Again, we're all in this together is the important thing to understand. Okay, I'm ranting and raving now. The point is just get it. The article's powerful. It's important. We're going to go back to your calls, but briefly popping in, we have the thought criminal. And I shouldn't be so upset about this. It's a good thing. They arrested a woman with no criminal record who's lived in California 4 years from Minnesota and runs a business. That's all in the news. Evil person. And it's good they told her she was bad. It's good that they yelled at her. She told the whole story in a 45-minute interview the other day. But they did get her in there. She tried to tell the judge, Judge, this is a misapplied. This is not felony vandalism. The judge just said, little lady, it's in the news. I don't want to hear what you have to say. We're here to nail down the First Amendment and teach you. You don't have it. You understand this. But basically just told her we're not going to hear it. And they gave her the public executor, the public defender to help ship her down the river. I mean, maybe once in 1,000 that public defenders are good, but they're always overworked. And so they're going to try to have a jury trial and get up and say, show them Building 7 falling so they understand your message. He'll say, jury, you're only allowed to say, does this statute say she can't do that? Well, no, the statute says it's vandalism. The statute says it's unwanted. But those are, and in common law from the time of Rome, that has been accepted. Then you bring up the selective enforcement issue. Will they arrest hopscotchers? And then it continues. And we can get the Rutherford Institute for her. We'll get somebody. But it's not, they're using taxpayer money to do this. They need to be sued for a civil rights violation. And there's a big list of those codes. False imprisonment. The list goes on and on. Misappropriation of law, color of law. The list goes on and on. But joining us is the wicked one herself, Amy Larson, because the police told her. Tell folks what the police said to you once they had you in the car and at the jail. I mean, briefly repeat that and then tell us about the court date, Amy.
Hi, nice to be with you. Well, it was going to be called a felony, charged with a $10,000 bail to get out. And this is just really crazy. Looking into it, vandalism cannot be charged for children or political activists because there is no malicious intent. So there's no way.
No, that's right. They're saying you're having an offense or cuss words. Exactly. They're misappropriating it. And I told you that the other day. So now sorry, continue.
Yeah, so I tried to get a public defender yesterday. You pretty much have to give them all your financial information. They want to know your employer, who I do not want to involve, your monthly income, monthly expenses, who do you owe money, what do you own, cars, checking, savings account, house equity, this huge sheet. I didn't have all the information with me, and I was not going to fill it out, so I've not been assigned a public defender yet. I am looking for a lawyer. At this point, I'm starting to get really mad and am considering suing the city and
no, you should. You should. And they don't care. The faster they bankrupt California, the better for them in their takeover. I mean, they all know what they're doing. But expanding on this, you hit the nail on the head, because I've read the statute there and the one in Austin. It's malicious intent. Your First Amendment is totally protected.
Right.
Continue.
Yeah, the same reason they can't arrest little kids, because they're not doing it maliciously, and political speech is never considered malicious. So it's definitely not vandalism. They're totally off base in their charge, so I think they'll lose. I actually was called for jury duty a few months ago, and so I got a great education on how a criminal trial works. You know, I made it right up until they finished selecting the jury pool, and I know that the burden of proof is on the state in a criminal trial. I will win in a jury trial. So if they should drop it now. I would urge everybody to call the
No. They don't want. They want to bankrupt America. I mean, literally, that's their job. And they're doing a great job, by the way. You need to personally sue all them for civil rights violations. I even pulled up the codes last night and forgot to bring them to work. But please continue.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly not the direction that this should have gone. If they would have informed me of the law at any point, this could have gone completely differently. Could have asked me to clean it up instead of saying that it cost.
But you shouldn't have cleaned it up. You didn't do anything wrong. They're not reasonable. That's why we have to stop being reasonable with them.
I agree.
Please continue. Tell us about the court date.
Okay, so the next court date is set for October 24th. What it really is crazy here is I'm not allowed to leave the state until then. This is just really going to screw things up. You know, I don't want to deal with this. My life is on hold because of this whole silliness. And yeah, 24th of October, I go back at 9:30 in the morning if any supporters want to show up. The Napa Patch website is continuing to cover this, so that's a good place to get local updates on this story. Please do follow up. I had 3 random concerned citizens show up to support me on my court date yesterday, which was fantastic. I really appreciated that. And you know, we have to stand up for each other. We can't let this happen to others.
I mean, I learned it's happening in the town where I live, and they're now arresting people that hold up political signs. They don't care if it's for the pizza place or condos that are being sold. You try to hold up signs in the town I live in, they're going to try to take you to jail. And because they understand that's the enemy. America is the enemy. Freedom is the enemy. You cannot let the slaves talk. Heaven forbid in occupied America, you have the French resistance basically communicating.
Yeah, there's pretty much no ways to speak out that are technically legal anymore. Even putting flyers on cars, I saw that's in the city code. I wasn't aware of that. The police don't know all these laws. There are way too many laws. I'm sure they have good intentions for the laws initially. But
the laws are all unconstitutional. Well, at the low level, they give you a good reason, but it's all evil intent from the top. Let's let me break some of this down. 18 U.S.C. Section 241, conspiracy against rights. Hit them hard. Again, 18 U.S.C. Section 241. 18 U.S.C. Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Again, they pulled a Rosa Parks on you. Number 3, 42 U.S.C. Section 1985, conspiracy to interfere with civil rights, Part 3, depriving persons of rights or privileges. And they gave you false imprisonment for it. It's millions. And we just won a lawsuit, by the way. We're not, for our reporter being arrested. We're not playing games here. And it continues. Sue them for big bucks under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, civil action for depriving of rights. And it just goes on and on, ma'am. You got anything else?
You know, I just want to again urge people to do anything that they can in their own personal lives, small things, grow gardens, be kind to your neighbors, and say hi to strangers when you're wearing political T-shirts.
Pure terrorism, folks.
Carry pepper spray around. That's still allowed in most places. You can't. We don't have a Second Amendment right here in California. You can't open carry as of the 1st of 2012. So carry pepper spray wherever you can. Do little things. Push your rights. Push them up to as far as you have them. And
that's right. Use them or lose them. Use them or lose them.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. I mean, tell us what the judge was like. I only read the news article about you trying to talk to the little creature in his black dress.
Yeah, what was strange was I was told that it was courtroom E, so that's where I showed up to, and about a half an hour in, somebody came in and asked me to go to the courtroom next door, D. In the first room, there was a good 50, 60 people, and in the other room, there was only about 10, so I'm not sure if they were concerned I was going to maybe say something or what happened there. But so, yeah, they moved the court date or the courtroom, and a different judge. Actually, the judge in the first room was the one that I had encountered during jury duty, and seemed somewhat reasonable. This guy was a little gruff and just very curt and short.
He's powerful. He's powerful. He's powerful.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I wasn't allowed to say anything. I did anyways, but... Yeah, well, listen, we're going to have to continue to track your evilness, and we'll continue to watch it all. I notice you're wearing a Infowars.com T-shirt. Absolutely. As I was at the time of the arrest, too. Oh, really? Ideas are bulletproof. Well, that might have been part of the problem. I mean, you know, you're promoting freedom, and that's a bad thing, ma'am. Yeah, wear a political T-shirt every day. If you work at a place, I wear some sort of political T-shirt every single day. Do what you can, you know, little stuff. It all makes a big difference. You think you live in America, don't you? How dare you? I love it. Are you feeling guilty? Because, you know, the cops told you, shame on you, and good thing you didn't have kids, right? Yeah, they thought somebody like me, they would be terrified if someone like me had children, so... Well, don't worry, the government's taking good people's kids every day and killing quite a few of them, and, so I guess they ought to be happy, you know? Yeah, one of the women that showed up to support me actually had problems with CPS, and so that's kind of why she was coming out and has gotten really active to help protect other people, too. So, well, they're 7 times more likely to rape kids than anybody else, but I guess they're the good guys. We're bad. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.